comes to real estate, as I'm sure you would agree, I think you would agree, when you have the market approach, which is one of a few different approaches, that being where you have a bunch of units, houses, townhouses, that are very similar in size. They're on the same street. One might be a little bit bigger because it has 3 bedrooms instead of 2. One might have a garage, maybe another one doesn't. You have in the group, you have some that have modernized the kitchen, let's say. But within a range, given that it's in a certain city on a certain block, and they're built around the same time, that starts a foundation where you have a valuation that's kind of tight, and then you can add or subtract $20,000 for the kitchen, an extra $30,000 for the bedroom. So within a range, and looking at recent sales, within a range is pretty tight. You can get a good feel for what the next townhouse is going to go for on the street. And there's plenty of data. There are real estate agents that can help you. With domains, even though domains are in effect real estate, but internet real estate, virtual real estate, there are a lot of factors that can be quantified, but there's also a lot of factors that are very judgmental. So if you try to start with the real estate, tangible real estate model, you look at similar names, recent sales if they exist, you can get a starting point. But there are very few similarities between any two domains, whereas there are lots of similarities between two townhouses right next to each other, same size, same number of bedrooms, all that kind of stuff. There's many factors. There's the extension is a .com, a .net, .org. As an example, the same name in .com on average will be about four times higher than the .net, given that the .net, similar .nets have been purchased. .nets haven't been purchased in a similar category. It could be as low as 10% of the value of .com. .org is about 3% on average. When it comes to certain verticals like education, hospital, a few others, .org is pretty strong because they're not for profit and they're organizations. You get into international country codes, international domains, DE for Germany, IN for India, CN for China, BR for Brazil, and on and on and on and on. There are factors there, given the same domain name, but different extension. There are factors there to take into account, like such as the economy of that country, such as the population of that country. So, as an example, when I think about .ca Canada versus .com, I know that we have about 300 million. They have about 28 million, so let's call it 10 to 1. So everything else equal, you might start off and say, well, .ca, the same name, compared to .com, is 1/10 the value. Then on top of that, you have to take into account that .com has universal value, whereas .ca is probably only strong in Canada. So when I think about .cas, I usually give them a value of about 1/20th of .com. I'm just jumping around to give you a couple of feelings. But,
yeah. Is there any value to the extension for Nigeria?
I've never had that question before, and I haven't looked